Hi guys, get ready with me as I tell you about the worst date ever. Disclaimer, I have to scrub off my self-tanner so no one come for me. Okay, so story time. I met this guy at the club, which I should have known is already just a red flag. Why am I accepting dates in clubs? I don't know. His friends invited us to join their table and I met him and I was like, oh, this guy is super cute, whatever. But I immediately should have known that it was a red flag because the first thing he says to me is like, oh, like I'm a CEO, I have my own company, blah, 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 blah. In the moment, of course, I'm like, oh, love a man with money, love a man with ambition. No, this man didn't have ambition. He just wanted to rub in my face that he had money and I don't. We planned a date to go to this really nice restaurant, and I don't go on dates or anywhere nice. I'm just gonna tell you just like the consecutive like red flags that just kept happening. Red flag number one. We were an hour and 15 minutes late to our reservation, and I'm sorry, I do not like that. When we walked in, he was like, yeah, I had a reservation at 8. We're a little late. And I'm like, a little? He's like, okay, yeah, we're a lot late. I'm like, here we go. He's gonna be rude to the staff all night long. So then we get seated, whatever. He's wearing a Gymshark long sleeve t-shirt and like Lululemon joggers. Like, yeah, that'd be cute if you're going to the gym, not if you're going to a nice fancy restaurant at 9 o'clock at night. All of a sudden, he's like asking me like what I want to do. And I'm like, well, I work for a nonprofit. I do events and fundraising. He just immediately starts shitting on my job, basically calling me poor, and that what I do is just like not substantial, and like I need a man like him to take care of me. And I'm like, well, no, this is what I want to do. You don't know me, so I don't know why you're coming at me telling me that my profession is quote unquote poor. I understand that my job is not for everyone. Not everyone can be great with kids. Not everyone can be comforting in situations where I work. And I'm like, I don't even want my kids that I volunteer with to know you, or I don't want you to volunteer with them. As he's shitting on my job, I'm like, well, we don't want you anyways, so shut up. So then we order, it's fine. We get the food. He's eating with his mouth full. I just have this memory of white, like ricotta, whatever, white cheese dripping down his face. I'm like, then this is just where it started to get worse. So then all of a sudden, you know, as he's chewing with his mouth full, food in his mouth, whatever, he starts getting really close to me. I'm like, what are you doing? Grabs the back of my neck, starts massaging me. I'm like, can you please not touch my hair? Like, I worked on this for 2 hours. And he's like, come here, baby. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? This man tried to make out with me tongue first in front of everyone in this nice ass restaurant. And I pushed him away from me. I'm like, I am not making out with you in this nice restaurant in front of all these people. He's like, you need to not care what other people think of you. I'm like, I don't care what other people think of you. I am just like a lady, and I'm not gonna stick my tongue down anyone's throat in this nice bar. No one wants to see that. I don't even want to do that. He's like, you're so feisty, you're so spunky, you're so fiery. Like, I just love that about you. Like, I love that you're not afraid to say no. I'm like, oh, I have a feeling I'm gonna say no a lot tonight. So they're still eating. I had 1 glass of wine, and then he does it again. Grabs the back of my neck, starts massaging my neck, and I'm like, seriously, dude, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. Like, you will not be getting anything from me, seriously. Then he FaceTimes his friend, and his friend's like, oh my God, she's even more beautiful than you explained her, like blah, 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 blah. Then the friend on the FaceTime was like, come on, Caroline, give him a little kiss for me. I'm like, ew, no. And that's what I said, and he's like, oh, she's so feisty, like, I love her spunk. Like, the exact same shit that the guy that I was on a date with said his friend said. I'm like, do you guys think that girls that say no are just, like, being spunky and, like, feisty? First of all, why are you calling me feisty for, like, having boundaries? I'm sorry. And why are you asking me to kiss your friend on FaceTime? Are you, like, gonna get off on it? Like, what? So, obviously, I did not do that. And then once again, he's like, you really don't like PDA, don't you? I'm like, no, I do not feel comfortable with PDA. So then we get the check, and I guess the waiter, you know, went to his other tables. This man starts flinging around the waiter, flinging around the bill. I literally slam it down, and I'm like, put that shit down right now. I'm like, you're embarrassing me, number one. Second of all, rude, just rude. I don't know why men with money think that, I just, who acts like this? That, it was crazy. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. So at the restaurant, he was like, I can't wait for you to come over tonight to meet my dog. And I was like, yeah, about that, like, I can't come over, and I don't even like dogs, so I don't really care. And he's like, no, but you'll love my dog, like, blah, blah. He was, like, getting really pushy and being like, no, you have to, whatever. I'm like, nope. Like, I have work tomorrow. Like, I was off my game at work when I went out the other day. Like, I'm not doing that again. He's, like, still trying to convince me, but I was like, yeah, like, no. So then he didn't bring it up until we leave the restaurant. And I'm like, okay, can you call me an Uber? Like, I had a great time, whatever. Just being a liar. And he's like, no, I'll drop you off at home. And I'm like, are you going to drop me off at home? Or are you going to take me to your apartment and try to meet your dog and then you're going to take me home? And he's like, no, I'm going to take you home after I take you to go meet my dog. Lost my mind. I'm like, nope. Whatever. I'm like, call me an Uber. Like, I'm not going there. So then as the Uber is coming, he grabs me and tries to make out with me again in front of just multiple people in front of this restaurant. And I push him and I'm like, seriously, you do not take no for an answer. I told you I didn't want it and I told you I don't like PDA. I'm literally just like, how did I get myself in this position again? Like, seriously. And after explaining it to my friends, they're like, Caroline, like, do you understand what happened to you yesterday? And like, I've never talked about this before, but I have been sexually assaulted in the past. And guys, like, I went to therapy, like, but I didn't even realize that that was what was happening to me, because this is like a really, like, it just wasn't sex. Like, you know, like, he wasn't like forcing like his, you know, but he was doing it in other ways, like touching me when I say stop, like trying to kiss me. Like, it wasn't in the way that I've been assaulted before, but it was just like a different way. I can't even explain it because I'm like shaking, but it's just like, what? So yeah, that was my date from hell, and I blocked the man and I just never spoke to him again. Oh, and he also bought me a flight to New York City. Like, I'm gonna be going to that. Even though I probably should have realized what was going on sooner, I'm glad that I said no and stood up for myself, because it definitely could have been just a lot worse. But like, I probably should have asked for help at the restaurant and been like, hey, like, this guy is just like not taking no for an answer. And it's like, there's definitely a power dynamic. Like, he was older and I can just already tell that he thought that I was going to be some 22-year-old that he can walk all over and like flaunt around, and that's just not me at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I love being taken care of and I love being shown off, but like, not like that. Well, moral of the story is, don't be afraid to say no and to stand up for yourself. Don't be like me and try to take yourself out of this situation sooner. I didn't understand what was going on, but now I can help you kind of know and like look out for those things. It's like, even if he's just touching your hair or touching something and like you say no and he does it multiple times, like, that's not good. And it sucks I didn't realize it sooner, because I wasn't in the same situation I was before, and that's just very well. Now that I just shared that with you, if anyone has like any questions or wants me to talk about anything or wants to talk about it with me, like privately, I'd love to talk to you guys. I used to have a blog in high school where I used to write about it, and it really helped me. But we have to be safe out there and stand our grounds, because we're not meant to be no one's play toy. Love you guys.